What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about being yourself. Many people in the world, they want to be like someone else, man. Everyone wants to be like someone else. They want to have the same qualities. They want to have the same attributes. They want to have the same materialistic things as someone else. But they don't know what it's like to be them. They don't know what it's like to live in their own skin because they want to live in everyone else's, right? You might be one of those people that you don't realize that you're trying to live someone else's life without living yours. You don't know who you are, who you're developing into, who you want to be. You're so stuck on trying to fit into everybody else's standards, everybody else's lifestyle, everyone else's expectations of who they want you to be, but you don't even know who you want to be. You don't even know what you want to do with your life. You don't even know the things that you want to accomplish in life, right? You know, some of the things that you like, that's cool. You know, some of the things that you don't like, that's cool, but it still doesn't translate into who you actually are as a person. If someone were to ask you, who are you? Or tell me a little bit about yourself, what would you say about you? And how much of that is truly you instead of what someone else wants you to be? You know, some people, especially if you're in a relationship, you know, the boyfriend has this role of, you know, you're the man, so we want you to do this and this and this so you can provide and that you can, you know, fit the role of a boyfriend, right? We need you to be someone to us, right? We need you to fit the role of what society tells you should be doing, what you know, the Bible says that you should be doing, what your parents say that you should be doing, what society standards are saying that you should be doing, but instead, you know, you can't figure out what already works for the relationship. Some girls, they like 50-50. Other girls, they like 75-30 or 75-25. You know, you got to find what really works for you and that person. And this isn't about relationships, but it's about finding what works for you and who you are. Right? Are you going to go based off what society says and who everyone else says they want you to be? Or is it going to be based off who you want to be and who you decide to be? People are already taken. Everyone else is already taken for who they want to be. Be you. Be the person that you want to become. Because the more that you're focused on trying to fit everyone else's standards, you're losing your own identity. You're losing your own self-awareness of who you are. And like I said, you start asking yourself, like, who am I? Right? How much of this is truly me, like that I enjoy doing? Do I truly enjoy playing this sport, or am I doing it for my family? Do I truly want to go to college, or am I just doing it because, you know, I'm going to feel like a failure if I don't? Am I truly working this high-class job, or do I want to become an entrepreneur? What do you want to do? What does you look like in 2025? And as we're moving forward into the next year, a lot of people are going to find their new identity, finding out what they do like, what they don't like, who they want to be, who they don't want to be, different habits, right? Different traits that people are going to try to adapt. And it's going to put people in a place where you're like, man, I really wish that, you know, I was myself. I really wish that everything that I did was for me. But I'm so used to living to everyone else's standards that it puts you in a place where you don't even know who you are. That's so key. That's so crucial for a lot of people. They don't understand and they don't realize that they're already in that space. They don't understand that they're already living that type of lifestyle, because it's almost like, I won't say habit, but it's more so just already ingrained in them. As they're coming up, your parents want you to be a nice, respectful young man. They want you to be able to take care of yourself, right? They want you to be educated. They want you to be successful. They want you to be responsible. They want you to be all these type of things. So you're used to filling in the gaps of who you are with other people's standards. And there's nothing wrong with trying to learn the good things that you need in your life. That's one thing. But it's another thing when you're trying to be someone else that you aren't. All of a sudden you're trying to dress like this other person because you like the way that they dress. All of a sudden you're trying to, you know, I don't know, talk like other people, right? You start hanging around the wrong group in the wrong circle. All these type of things that start having more influence on you. And there's nothing wrong with, again, trying to change up you, trying to figure out who you are. If you want to change out your style to figure out what your style is, or, you know, what type of music you like to listen to, or what type of concerts you like to go to, the type of interactions and events you like to show up to, there's nothing wrong with that if you're exploring. But if you're like, oh, yeah, this is who I am because of blank, then you're giving your identity away to someone that doesn't even know who you are. And even if they do know who you are, maybe it's someone that doesn't care about you as much as you think they do, because you're just a copy of them. You're just another duplicate of them. You know what I'm saying? For me, being me means being goofy, being myself. Like, you know, I'm not worried about like, okay, I got to show up to this function. I got to be someone else for these people. Now, the thing is that before I say that, actually, is that with different people, you're going to have different personalities. The way you are with your friends is the way that is not how you are with your family, right? The way that you are at church or the way that you are at school is not how you are in a different situation or different area. You know, so you got to figure out who you are and who you can be in all these different groups, who you need to be in all these different groups. I can't act like a son or act like a brother to my friends. That's not my role. I'm a friend to them, right? Maybe I have that brotherly connection, but I'm not their actual brother. I can't act like I'm that role. You got to learn how to play the role, whatever your role is, but also do it in a way where it's you authentically being you. Not, oh, I'm going to my family, so I got to dress a certain way and I got to carry myself this certain way. Like, if that's the reason that you have to change your identity or change who you are, then you just got to be careful and ask yourself who you are. Who are you? And why is it that you have to change yourself for different crowds and different people? For me, I still dress the same around my family, still talk the same around my family, still joke around the same with my family, as I probably would with my friends. Personally, I mean, I do a little bit more with my friends because, you know, they're my friends and I can be a little bit more goofy or, you know, have different type of conversations. But at the same time, you know, I'm still not like, oh, I'm super shy and reserved and all of a sudden I don't know how to speak and I don't know how to do blank and blank. Like, you just got to be able to get out there, identify who you are and who you want to be, and then start executing from there. Who do you want to be in 2025? What is going to change about you in 2025? What personality traits are you going to develop? What areas are you going to work on? Who is going to be able to be your influence? Who's going to be in your circle to tell you, like, okay, look, I see that you're a little bit more depressed lately, or you haven't really talked that much lately, or, you know, you're in a place where, you know, you're super goofy lately, or, you know, you're starting to break out your shell. Like, who's going to be that person to say, look, I see who you're becoming, because that's who you are. That's who you're deciding to be. Who's going to be that person in your life? Many people don't have that person. Because no one is truly 100% them all the time. You know, as you're trying to figure out, especially if you're growing up and you're young, you're trying to figure out how to fit into all these different type of things. You know, you're at school and you want to feel like you're included. You feel like you want to fit in. You feel like you want to be in places where people accept you and people love you, all that type of stuff. You know, that's really big for a lot of people, especially when they're younger. But the older you get, the more wise you get, the more understanding you get, the more you start to develop who you actually want to become. And if you're in that phase right now, then I would recommend that you figure it out. Try different stuff. See what it's like to take yourself on a solo date, right? Go to that restaurant that you like and do it on your own. Go to the library and study on your own or read a book on your own, right? Go to the park and take a walk by yourself. Do things on your own to understand what you like and what you don't like, what you can do and what you can't do on your own. Realistically, that's how you start finding out who you are. Isolate yourself if you need to be on your own, to be like, look, this is who I need to be in this period of my life. I'm not saying isolate yourself and cut everybody off, but be around people that's going to be able to influence you in the right way, or be around yourself and understand who you want to become. Because sometimes you got to take yourself out of the equation to be able to isolate and focus on who you want to be, who you need to be. And it could just be for a season, not a lifestyle. Everybody needs a good community and everybody needs good people around them. But sometimes you go through seasons where it's just you. And what do you do from there? So, you know, I think that this year, as we're moving on and we're trying to understand exactly what it's like to get to that next level and understand who you are, you got to make sure that you understand your own identity, who you want to be and who you want to become. All these kids behind me, man, they got this entire park and they talking behind me, y'all. Anyway, like I'm saying, y'all, you know, I think that's one of the most crucial things. That's just me personally, though. So as you're trying to go into 2025, or maybe you're watching this after we've already dropped through the new year, just understand who you want to be and start to move forward from there, because there's no one that's going to know you better than you. And the more you're trying to fit into everyone else's standards and what everyone else wants to do, then the more you start losing your own identity. And we already have enough people out here that want to be like everyone else. So be you. Anyway, y'all, that being said, that's really going to wrap up this video. I just encourage you to want to be yourself. It's a real simple video, y'all. But that being said, like this video, share this video if you feel like someone's going through an identity crisis, trying to figure out who they want to be. comment on the video what your process has been as you're trying to figure out yourself. What does that look like for you? Going through life and going through college, or maybe not going to college, maybe going to work at plenty of different jobs, or maybe just going straight on the entrepreneur route. What does that look like for you as you're trying to identify who you want to be? I'm curious. Drop it in the comments. But yeah, y'all. Until then, I will catch y'all in the next video. Gone.